Tesla has announced the deliveries of the company's most popular vehicle, the all-electric Model Y crossover, have begun in Singapore. Tesla posted several photos of new Model Y owners in Singapore receiving their vehicles. Welcome to First Class Tech, and in this video, we'll take a look at Tesla Model Y Singapore deliveries and future updates. Curious to know? Let's find out. Tesla has finally started shipping the highly anticipated Model Y to Singapore. The car is very popular there, and new sales records are expected soon. Giga Shanghai increased its efforts after returning to full production capacity. In early June, the company released Model Y order pages in a number of Asian countries, including Singapore. The car was brought into the country in mid-July for public display, further arousing consumers, particularly those who were waiting for the Model Y to arrive. Only a few weeks later, the first ship carrying Model Ys docked off the coast of Singapore. The first deliveries began a few days later, and Tesla shared the first photos of happy customers on Instagram. Tesla opened order banks for the crossover in June, preparing for the Model Y's imminent arrival in several Asian countries. Tesla launched Model Y orders for Singapore, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand in June, with deliveries beginning just a few weeks ago. According to Tesla's design studio, the Model Y is available in 2 trim levels in Singapore. The Model Y RWD starts at $67,000, with the performance model costing $80,000. If the vehicle is ordered today, deliveries are scheduled for late 2022. Singapore also has an EV early adoption incentive, which can be redeemed for a $18,000 rebate before December 31, 2022. An additional $14,000 rebate can be claimed before December 31, 2023. Following the launch of the Model Y order banks in Singapore, Tesla brought units built at Gigafactory Shanghai to the country's premier shopping mall, Ion Orchard. Teslas were not regularly displayed in the country by their owners for potential customers to see. Tesla only recently began installing supercharger infrastructure in Singapore as the Model 3 began to arrive for initial deliveries. In the last year, EV interest in the country has skyrocketed, prompting the government to consider new legislation requiring buildings to install electric vehicle chargers in at least 1% of parking spaces. According to data, the Model Y was the world's second best-selling pure EV in July, trailing only the Wuling Hongguang Mini EV, which is extremely affordable and available in China's high-demand automotive market. However, the Model Y, which received around 30,000 deliveries worldwide last month, has become Tesla's most popular vehicle, fulfilling a prediction made by Elon Musk several years ago. By the way, if you're watching us for the first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can enjoy our future videos while getting updated. Getting back to the topic. Tesla does not require an introduction because of its founder Elon Musk's notoriously public silliness, such as his most recent withdrawal from the Twitter deal. So much so that some analysts believe Musk's cult of personality, once praised as a game changer, is now endangering the brand and, as a result, car sales and company growth. Do Musk's ongoing controversies overshadow the fact that Tesla cars are, admittedly, very cool? Maybe. Should it, however? Certainly not. Why should the non-sentient vehicle be punished for its creator's egocentric misadventures in the business world that have nothing to do with the product at hand? Philosophers, business experts, and tech geeks could all debate the age of influence conundrum indefinitely. But let us return to business. There is no denying Tesla's allure and the instant cult status that the badge provides. What's perplexing is the extent of fans' devotion to the premium electric vehicle manufacturer and its comically uncharismatic CEO, which has recently dwindled due to the highly public mayhem the troubled billionaire is prone to causing. However, Tesla only recently returned to the Singapore market after leaving in 2011 due to complaints with local authorities about a lack of green tax incentives at the time. So, until last year, Singaporeans could only purchase a Tesla through parallel importers, making these vehicles even more desirable due to their scarcity on the road. So, if you owned a Tesla in the last decade, you were firmly in the domain of cool. All of this changed with Tesla's re-entry into Singapore last year, which began with the launch of its sales portal in February 2021. According to the sources, more than 1,000 new Tesla vehicles have already been registered in the country as of 2022. It has just arrived in Singapore, following the hugely successful Model 3 launch, with deliveries starting in August. The Model Y is Tesla's first mass-market sports utility electric vehicle, built on a similar platform, electric powertrain, and interior design as the Model 3 sedan. The Model Y includes Tesla's famous autopilot mode, which is currently rendered useless in Singapore roads because fully autonomous driving, no matter how sophisticated Tesla's self-driving system is, has not been approved for widespread use here. Orders for the Model Y RWD and dual motor AWD performance have also begun in New Zealand and Singapore. The Model Y RWD starts at $49,000 in New Zealand, while the dual motor AWD performance variant costs $70,000. Model Y RWD orders in New Zealand are expected to be delivered between August and November 2022. Reservation holders for the AWD variant can expect their orders between November 2022 and February 2023. Tesla has begun taking Model Y orders in Australia and Japan, further expanding the global market for all-electric SUVs. The start Model Y RWD orders from Australia and Japan suggest that Giga Shanghai's production is returning to normal, as it will handle deliveries for these two countries. Following the COVID-19 breakout in Shanghai, which resulted in a series of lockdowns, China has retaliated with a vengeance of limited output. In May, Tesla Giga Shanghai produced 33,544 vehicles, a 212% increase over April. While Giga Shanghai is resurrecting, Gigafactory Texas has begun Model Y deliveries. Singapore's government is considering new laws requiring new buildings to include electric vehicle charging stations in at least 1% of parking spaces. The legislation would help supplement EV adoption in the country and ensure that there are enough charging stations available as the market share of electric vehicles grows. The restriction will apply to EV chargers that are connected to the power grid, mobile chargers, and battery charge and swap stations. According to proposed EV charging laws in Singapore, all new buildings with parking lots will be required to include electric vehicle charging outlets in at least 1% of their total car and motorcycle parking lots in the future. Singapore authorities are aware of the growth of EVs and want to build adequate infrastructure before the number of vehicles outnumbers the charging station. We see a strong impetus among key stakeholders in the EV charging industry to introduce legislation to regulate EV charging, even though the industry and EV adoption in Singapore are still in their infancy, they said. The proposed electric vehicle charging bill would empower the Land Transport Authority to regulate EV chargers used in Singapore. This will also create a framework for EV charging operators as well as require the installation of EV chargers in buildings. As part of Singapore's efforts to combat climate change, Singapore intends to reduce our land transport emissions by 80% from 2016 levels by around 2050, according to the LTA. One important strategy for achieving this goal is to increase the adoption of cleaner energy vehicles, particularly electric vehicles. EVs currently emit about half the emissions of a vehicle powered by an internal combustion engine. The Ministry of Transport and the LTA want to work with the industry's key stakeholders to develop laws governing EV charging. Maintaining public safety when using electric vehicle chargers is one of their concerns. The proposed legislation aims to make charging services for electric vehicles as safe as possible. Second, clear rules and regulations for the fledgling electric vehicle charging market. Finally, laying the groundwork for a reliable and accessible network of electric vehicle chargers while reducing the need for future upgrades. Their goal is to gather public input and draft legislation governing electric vehicle charging. The proposed legislation would give the LTA legal authority to enforce new EV charging standards. Singapore is one of many countries investing in EV infrastructure. The Biden administration in the United States proposed new guidelines for a nationwide network of electric vehicle charging stations. It was the most recent advancement in the Biden administration's efforts to encourage more Americans to switch to electric vehicles. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Will the Model Y continue to live up to buyers' trend-setting expectations? Let us know in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you